We will spend the next 20 minutes having an open discussion to help inform the development of a co-designed person-centered feedback governance framework, especially focused on relational feedback. So the care opinion team envisages that a small working group will be formed post this forum, who will work together to co-design a governance framework that will be offered to hospital health services or any health services to enhance their management of and integration of relational feedback within their healthcare settings. The primary objective is to ensure the framework will guide the users to develop systems for collecting, analysing, and responding to patient insights and experiences concerning their healthcare. And also, the secondary objective is to empower services to best utilise the care opinion platform to seamlessly and systematically integrate relational person-centered feedback into their policies, processes, systems, and daily healthcare practices. The working group could, at a later stage, also help inform the co-design of a series of e-learning modules that will equip healthcare providers with the essential tools and knowledge to effectively respond to and leverage the feedback, ensuring it influences their operational decisions and enhances both patient care and service delivery. For the purposes of our consultation, I'll ask the team, if they haven't already, to please just share a definition in the chat on what we mean by co-design in health governance that we're talking about this evening, and also perhaps a definition of health governance as well. If we could, I'm not going to read through what this definition is, but just for you to keep it in the back of your mind as we are consulting. So, as many on this call would appreciate, that there's a lot of literature on patient feedback governance frameworks that exist. Most contain similar elements, but what we're interested to learn about and to co-design is relational feedback governance framework, which is less talked about, and we want to hear what is being currently practiced at the coalface. And I might invite Beck just to share a couple of quick points with us around the areas of concern and what has brought this about. What are they tackling with when we talk about governance with those who are using care opinion within their health services? Then we'll pose a few questions to you to kick off the consultation. Beck?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tina. We see the vast spectrum of experiences that organisations go through when they start on a journey with online relational feedback. So a few of the things we've come across is where, say, the decision is made to bring the platform in to engage with consumers in this way, and then it is assigned to the responsibility of one person or a small team within that organisation to then roll out. And so, for the most part, there may not be enough time allocated within that person's existing role to be able to manage this level, because really it is a whole of organisation commitment when it comes to it, and staff need to be supported along their journey to understand why it's safe. Moderation plays a huge part in this, but that's something that does need a bit of an education process and identify where different stakeholders are within the health service, what impact this may have on them, and how they do need to be supported. So what we do is we have an implementation guide, but we really recommend that organisations have a look at what their processes are, their systems, to also assist when you've got things like mobile workforces. If somebody leaves and then another person comes on, we need this to be to help in efficiencies be brought into the processes, and also this governance framework designed to help this to be more effective a little bit more broadly, so staff do get the impact of the positive stories, and also the learning occurs where there's opportunities. So that's one aspect of why we can recognise this need. The other we see, and several of our presenters have really touched on this, is that staff need permission, and I thank you, Liz, for highlighting this, so you've articulated it so well. There are a lot of issues where we'll have, and I think Claire touched on this as well, what staff recall of a situation or an event is quite different to how the consumer recalls the event. And so we need to have staff equipped to be able to feel comfortable, feel equipped to respond in a way that doesn't sound offensive, may also present a different view or put other information out there in a way that's compassionate. And so I think there's need for some governance scaffolding to be put in place to empower staff to understand what they can say, when they can say it, and also to understand the need to actively reach out to engage with consumers rather than just leaving it on them to feel motivated enough to reach that point of sharing feedback. So that's just two things. I could certainly go on, but I think that'll give us enough to go with, because I am also conscious of time.
Thanks very much, Beck. So with that, if you can think about those who are engaged with Care Opinion, what is the process that your organisation uses when you receive a story? What happens with it? How do you respond? Who is involved? And what works well? How could it be enhanced? What elements need to be included in this framework? So lots of small questions, or anything else that you'd like to contribute to this is fine, but if there's any of those questions you can respond to, that'll be appreciated as well. Just post those questions in the chat as well. And as Beck mentioned, already we've heard some of these experiences, and we've captured those, but anything that hasn't already been shared, it'd be good to reiterate or share with us.
Just going to highlight one of the comments we've got there about it not being person dependent. And I think so, Tara, I'd encourage you also to expand on that if you're happy to share there. But I'm from what I'm guessing you mean by that, and what we see is when it is dependent on one individual person, where you've got a single champion, it needs to rest more broadly and be supported more broadly. Otherwise, it's not sustainable necessarily. Is that right, Tara? Yeah.
Yeah. And Tara, you're on mute if you're trying to share something. Yeah, we can't hear you. Sorry, but just on that point, to share with you that we have seen really good examples of where some of this works as a team. So there are opportunities for a executive team, some of the care providers directly, staff members of the hospital health service at different levels coming together regularly to review the feedback, to contribute to the responses, and that works really well. It is unfortunate that in some health services, it is dependent on one member of the hospital or the health service, and it can be problematic at times. And even I think the team will be able to share with you, and I see Alicia's hand is up as well, where consumers are actually part of the co-design in terms of the response, but also the change that occurs within that hospital health service. I will pass on to Alicia, please.
Thanks, Tina. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share as well that in my new life working in severe and complex mental health and commissioning services in that space, I'm working a lot more with peer workforce and lived experience network. And I really think that for the relational, governance and feedback frameworks to move forward, there's a real partnering in sort of, I think, linking up with some of those other movements that are happening, and looking at how that can be complementary in those places where you are all working with Care Opinion, to see what other activity in those peer workforce and other activities are happening, because they certainly all continue to move us forward towards genuine co-design and the dream of co-production.
Absolutely.
Something that has been mentioned, which slipped my mind, is the involvement of family and carers. And that is a lot of the stories that are actually shared by family and carers, and the impact of that on staff experience. So thanks to Anne-Marie for sharing that. And any other thoughts, comments, contributions?
Pip, I'd also encourage, just from your comment there, saying from the consumer perspective, if the ASQHC might help to co-badge the framework. So I just wondered if you'd like to talk into that at all there, Pip.
Thanks, Beck. Well, I know for those of you who don't know me, I'm actually Claire Mullen's colleague, and we've worked at Health Consumers Council together. I was very passionate, continued to be very passionate about the Care Opinion platform. I was involved in it was a 2 or 2.5 year process of a commission and ARPRA doing a review of feedback processes, and honestly, every barrier for consumers and families in providing feedback is solved by Care Opinion. But I really feel today, like with Neil's presentation, it really highlighted all the benefits for the service as well. I know, I mean, I've been around a long time. I've been a consumer advocate for 25 years, so I can tell when something is embraced and when something is tolerated. And Care Opinion in West Australia's public hospitals, it really varies. You can really tell that. I guess, I don't know, it's a really tricky thing around carrot and stick, but sometimes the stick is good. And I just wondered if the Commission would help to give more legitimacy to the platform. I personally think that people don't always understand that Care Opinion is a non-profit organisation, that this is a public good thing. This is an incredible opportunity for us as a nation to really embed the patient and family being at the centre. And I just would love to. I just wondered if that was if the idea of the Commission sort of perhaps co-badging the framework would just give it that little bit more strength and give a bit more for service providers who've got a bajillion things coming at them. It might just be like, oh, maybe this will sort of really help, help us go through our
We've just lost you a little bit there, Pip. So we just missed the last few words that you said. Oh, you've frozen a little bit there.
I'm so sorry. Somebody knocked at the door. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay.
I had to get up and answer the door.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
and
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, the structure and legitimacy of the
Commission. Yeah, just a little bit to share with you that ongoing engagement is occurring with the Commission, and but to have the co-badging or that kind of collaboration would really help us move this forward. So thank you for that suggestion, and we'll certainly work on that. And they are very aware of and supportive of Care Opinion. That's the message that we keep getting, and we engage with them regularly every year, and they're like, wow, this is amazing, but we need a bit more than that. So this is the next step. So thank you for that suggestion. Tara, did you want to give it another go to see if we can hear you?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, yes, we can.
Oh.
I just had a feeling that we could.
It comes down to, like everything in consumer engagement when it comes to health, that it very much comes down to it's person dependent, and it's a very small finite amount of people that can usually respond to these things, and therefore it's not just siloed, it's off the side. So I feel like sometimes this gets too person dependent, that when that person leaves, that connection that we have with our consumers and community disappears and we have to start again from scratch. So I guess that's what I was meaning by the fact of it can't be person dependent. This needs to be part of a governance, a system, so that that's the way that the system responds, the health services responds, not just this one person that's sitting there and typing a response to somebody, is what I meant. So
thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you. Very, very important point. And thank you for turning on your cameras. Lovely to see you. Dan.
I was just going to offer that in the effort to get something systemized, that it doesn't lose its authenticity as part of the process. Like I know there's many things where you might get a brochure that needs to be ticked off or signed off by some sort of consumer rep, and it's a really tokenistic sort of thing. It's not really the engagement that you're talking about, but it has been systemized, so you can celebrate that. So that's just my reflective learning is, in the effort to get it systemized and embedded in the system, don't lose that authentic part of personal engagement and taking it from there as well.
Yep. Agree 100%. Don't make it a ticker box either.
Yep. Very well said. Thank you, Dan, for that contribution. And any other thoughts? And tonight is not the only night or morning, wherever you are in the world, to provide your input. What we will do after this forum is share with you perhaps, and this is, I'm speaking out loud, so the team might say, no, we will share with you a questionnaire with a few 2 or 3 open-ended questions, so you can offer any insights into the co-design of this framework. And then in addition to that, there will be an expressions of interest call out for those who wish to join the working group, and we encourage you to do so. And so if there are no, thank you, I've got the GM's thumbs up, which means it's okay, we will do that. So with that, I think we will wrap up this evening. I wish we did have a bit more time, but I think everyone's a bit tired and it's been a long session. So an incredibly inspiring program that we've had together. Thank you very much for all your contributions, your presentations. It's been really illuminating to hear the insights shared from consumers, from leaders, from advocates, from change agents across our nation, and as well the UK, our committed colleagues in the UK. It's really a real bounty and privilege to be able to work with our colleagues there, to learn from their experiences as well. All the presentations were sensational. Thank you to all the presenters. You used real life examples, you shared research, personal experiences, and your unwavering commitment to consumer feedback has been truly inspirational, showing us what's possible and what we can all contribute to. As humbly as it is, we are part of this change, and as long as we're committed, we can work together to move forward. Our vision is to see that the platform, the Care Opinion platform, is adopted more widely across our nation, so that all consumers, carers and families can provide relational feedback regardless of the services they use. And our team is working closely with government and consumer groups and leaders across the nation. So if anyone comes across in mind that you would like us to reach out to and work with you to make that happen, please do. Special thanks to Rhonda, the General Manager for Care Opinion, and to Rebecca Somerville, the Care Opinion Manager, to Sarah and Ellen for their hard work in coordinating all the presentations and the forum across multiple time zones. And I'd like to also inform you that a evaluation form will be also distributed, I believe, tomorrow. So please give us feedback so we can improve this forum, and we hope to have more. We have them at least once a year, maybe twice a year moving forward. So we'll see how we go. Video recordings will also be shared in coming days. And I believe that's all the areas I needed to cover. If there's anything more, please let me know, Care Opinion team. Once again, thank you so much for being part of this transformative process. Thank you to the heroic change agents out there who are advocating to elevate the human experience and to amplify the consumer voice. You are our allies, our long-term partners, and we look forward to continuing to work with you into the future. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you are, and thank you.